Hello all and welcome to my first Tales of Hyperia update video. In today's video, I'm going to showcase the battle system. Now, I'm not necessarily going to play through what I've programmed so far. Instead, I'm going to take snippets from the battles to show off what I've got so far. This will keep the runtime of this video short, as well as let me showcase different enemies and mechanics. That being said, let's get started. So here's the typical battle screen for Tales of Hyperia. There are 4 commands for players to choose from: attack, the character's special attack, items, and run. Let's go over basic attacks. This will probably be the quickest and most basic part, but I figure I would talk about it for completeness. Obviously, if you push the attack button, you attack the enemy. And of course, same can be said for the enemy's turn. Now, like most RPGs, you also have a chance to miss attacks. There's currently a 1 in 20 chance of missing, which may get adjusted if it's too much or too little. This missing mechanic also applies to the enemies. There's also a chance of landing a critical attack. There's currently no critical hit chance for the enemies, but that's going to be implemented in the near future. Alright, enough about the boring stuff. Let's talk about the boys' special skills. As I mentioned in my character showcase pictures on Twitter and Instagram a few months back, Isaac is your classic sword wielder, Benjamin is a black mage, Elliot takes the role of a white mage, and Dorian is what I call a brawler. As such, Isaac's skill set revolves around sword skills, Ben's skill is black arts, Elliot's skill revolves around healing, with a few attack skills as well, and Dorian has martial arts. Each of the boys will learn 4 moves over the course of the game. It was originally 8, but I scaled back due to potential memory issues, and I felt a lot of the moves were just too similar. Isaac is the eldest brother in the group, so he starts off at a higher level than his brothers, and he already knows his first move, the eye slash. Isaac slashes at the enemy in the shape of an eye, as indicated by the screen shakes. Elliot is also a high enough level that he knows his first spell, heal. As the name suggests, heal will recover any teammate's HP, assuming they need it. Dorian starts off at level 1, so he hasn't learned any skills yet. He learns his first skill at level 3, Knife Hand. Knife Hand is a skill that allows Dorian to use his hand to chop through his enemies for massive damage. Now, I skipped over Benjamin because Ben learns his magic a bit differently than simply leveling up. For Ben, he learns spells by finding spell books. The more spell books he gets, the more magic he learns. While we're on the topic of special skills, let's talk about weaknesses. There are over 50 enemies for players to battle against in Tales of Hyperia, and some of them have a weakness to certain attacks. Take, for instance, the small fry here. He's made of fire, so freeze will do massive damage. The same can be said for bosses. For instance, the big fry is made up of fire as well, so he's also weak to freeze. Weaknesses can play a pivotal part in battle. Let's say there's an enemy with a high defense, such as this vicious flower here. Normal attacks won't damage it, but using the right spell may turn the tide of battle. Up next is the items option. There are several items for players to collect. None of them are anything groundbreaking, but I figured I would describe them anyway. The main healing item of the game are potions. Potions heal 25% of the player's health. They're not as good as Elliot's healing powers, but they'll help you in a pinch. There are stronger potions out there for the players to find as well, so these standard potions will eventually be replaced with better potions. Same can be said for mana potions. Mana potions heal 25% of a character's MP. Again, there are more mana potions out there that will heal more of a character's MP. Let's talk a little bit about status ailments and the items that cure them. There are 2 main status ailments for players to watch out for in Tales of Hyperia. Those two are Poison and Fear. If a player is poisoned, they lose health after they attack, which is pretty standard there. If you want to cure a character of poison, you'll want to use an antidote. Characters that are afraid won't be able to attack their turn, unless of course you use the item Smelling Salts, or if the player gets lucky and they snap out of their fear. Either way, it's always important to carry a few Smelling Salts with you. The last item shown here is the Revival Kit. As its name suggests, it revives a downed character with 50% of their HP. There's one more item for players to find that actually isn't listed here. That item is the Magical Life Potion. The Life Potion heals every player's HP, MP, and cures all their status ailments. You'll definitely want to save those items for a very hard battle. The last action for players is the Run option. If players are having trouble against normal enemies, then they have a chance of escaping if Run is selected. If a player runs from a random encounter, then they obviously don't finish the fight. If a player runs from a monster that's physically shown on the screen, then they'll have to fight it again. There's a physical monster on every map. Sometimes they're blocking the way, but sometimes they're off doing their own thing. It's up to you if you want to engage them. So that's the battle system in a nutshell. Hopefully this video piqued your interest in Tales of Hyperia, the Crimson Knight. Stay tuned for more updates, and, as always, thank you for watching.